Welcome to the channel. This is Geauxgreddy and welcome to a rare doubleheader. Tonight we race both the manufacturer's race at Interlagos as well as the nation's race at Spa. And how did I do? Well, as usual, you will have to stick around to find out. But before we get to the action, if you could be so kind as to hit the like and or subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it. Alright, so we start tonight's action at Interlagos as I'm the 14th ranked driver in this lobby with a very bloated DR around 57,500 or so-ish DR points, as I have been in the daily races trying to pound out some wins, pole positions, etc. to get my achievements cranked up. So this group of folks a little bit faster than what I'm used to seeing. So how do I do? Well, as I go into qualifying, I make it around the track, and I see a familiar face behind me is Girthquake, and I'm thinking the entire time, this is not a good place for Girth to be, as I am typically about a second slower than Girth, maybe more, here at Interlagos and most places that we race. So, ends up that he is getting held up by me, and I'm feeling kind of bad about it, because, I mean, I know that my pace here isn't outstanding, so I let him by on the inside, not a big deal. He goes through, and I end up with a 1:31.3. And with the worn tires, I should have exited and came back out and did another lap, but I didn't because I wasn't thinking. And so anyway, so I ended up with a 1:31.3 as my qualifying time, which is not that great. And as you can see, I start in position number 20. I mean, I'd say not great, but you can't get much worse than P20. So let's get along to the race and see if I can't improve my position a little bit. Alright, so here we go. Start of the race. I am in P20. I am behind Slow Baked Bugs. I'm not sure why anyone likes slow baked bugs or why you'd eat them, but I'm on hard tires and that's boring as hell. So we're going to fast forward right through this lap because I'm going to jump into the pit stops and I'm going to throw on some fresh mediums. Porsche crew fast at work. You saw that? Man, that Porsche crew's quick. Good gracious. Love that factory team. Anyway, so we come out of the pits with a fresh set of mediums. And did I make up any time? Anyone know? Probably not. In fact, I'm not even sure why I do this strategy. So if you start at the back of the pack, it's just like common knowledge. You start on hard tires, and you go to mediums, then you go to softs. While the front of the field starts in soft tires, leaves you in the dust. You never get in the slipstream, and then you end up way, 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 way in the back. So I don't know. I don't know why I do it. I should just start on the damn softs and pass up all the ding-a-lings on hards and mediums, and then get in the slipstream with the faster people and move my way up the pack. But instead, I started on hards. So, I mean, look at this guy. Look how disappointed he is. He's highly disappointed in me. He's just bored to death. So I sit here behind the Toyota Supra in slow-baked bugs. That's disgusting, by the way. And so first action of the race, really, DNA Dibbler comes out here, and I'm like, it's DNA Dibbler. He's one of typically one of the top Porsche guys, at least top 5 usually. And I'm like 15, 16, something like that. So check it out, like Dibbler's back here slumming it with me. I'm like, what's up, Dib? I know I shouldn't take pleasure in other people's pain and misery, but hey, I mean, fellow Porsche guys just hanging out in the back of the pack behind this guy in a Supra. Why not? Heck. So anyway, I'm back here. I'm saving fuel. Now that was one thing that I did do correctly this race, is I saved fuel. I mean, I did so much stuff wrong this race. Starting on hards wasn't the worst thing I could have done, whatever. But I did save fuel rather well, I thought. So that was good. My strategy was just completely terrible. I had practiced for the race, and then when I got into the race, I was so concentrated on the fuel laps, I just didn't really pay attention to what was going on in the mini map and what was going on, in the laps. And if I had, I may have done even better than I ended up doing. But anyway, so DNA Dibbler gets the 2-second "I touched you because you got loose" penalty. I don't know what that is with GT Sport, but somehow if someone gets loose and they're going off track and you touch them in the quarter panel, you're getting the 2 seconds. So fortunately, DNA got that. DNA Dibbler got that. Dibbler got that. So that sucked for him. And that put me right back on the back bumper of slow bake bugs. So I'm going to have to try and figure out a way around slow bake bugs, because while he is helping me try to save fuel, he is really kind of slowing me down. So let's fast forward a little bit. And here we are on lap 5. And in my review, you will see ProperID 503. And as I figured, he would make a run up on us. I think he was on the same compound tire, or he was on the softs. All I know is he ran me down from way the hell back. So I'm like, you know what? I'm in position 17. I don't really care. I gave him a slipstream on the inside there, let him pull forward. I'm going to brake early here, let him get on the underside of me, and I'm going to slide right back down on him, get back in that slipstream, and, you know, keep saving fuel. I mean, I'm just going to save fuel, even if I have to get by slow baked bugs by just saving fuel, that's fine. And also what I was kind of hoping that they would maybe get a little side-by-side action and murder each other. I know that's terrible, but it happens so often. It's like, why not, you know? So I was like, well, maybe they just kill each other here. I'll just zip around and not worry about it. And that time, ProperID 503 gets the 3-second "I touched you" penalty. And then he just quits. And I'm like, well, then why the hell did I just let you by it? So anyway, so Freary quits because he got the whacked penalty. And then there's the mistake. Mr. Bugman goes wide, and I take advantage of it, and I pick up the position. So fast forward here to lap 7, because not a whole hell of a lot happened. I throw on my caution lights to let Dibbler know I'm going in the pits. He apparently read that signal well. Went around the outside. I threw her down in the pits. Coming in, got to put on some soft tires. So coming in on lap 7, leaving on lap 8. So 13 laps remaining to run soft tires. So I can go 7-7. I mean, I'm sorry, 7-6. I can go 6-7. I can go 8-5. I can go 5-8. The world is my oyster at this point. So here you see I'm coming out on lap 20, past Vanity. All those other laps I was out there by myself. So really a whole hell I had to see. Wasn't a lot to see at all. But I'm not even thinking about laps and tires. For some odd reason, all I can concentrate on right now is fuel. So I'm just, as you can see, I got my fuel mixture up there. I'm watching fuel. I'm trying to time it to where I don't need fuel, which I think was a mistake. I wanted to save some fuel, but I think I was just obnoxiously over saving fuel. And I let Vanity underneath right here because I want to jump in the slipstream of the Alpha. Because I know he's got a little bit fresher tires than I do, and Vanity's pretty quick around here in the Alpha. So I'm just going to jump in here, let him pull me up to Thunder Knucks, because I was struggling to try and catch the Corvette. So I was hoping maybe he could get me up there, and anytime I can get assistance from that slipstream, I'm gonna take it. I mean, I started in P20 for crying out loud, so it's like I'm gonna try something. Unfortunately, if I'd have just done a little bit better math, I think I'd have been a bit better off. But so anyway, so here I'm coming down Vanity. We're coming into the Senna S. And Vanity just forgets to brake, and so the position I gave him, I take right back. So we're basically a reset on lap 12 of lap 11, and there's Vanity behind me, and out in front of me pops Greasy Sasquatch, Greasy Sasquatch, is that right? Greasy Sam Squatch? I don't know. It's a really long name, and it sounds a little bit like squatch and sandwich thrown together in a greasy word. He went for something there. Anyway, so now Vanity's coming back again here on my rear bumper. He's in the Alpha. He's got great tire wear on that thing. Tires just never die, even though they threw like an elephant in the car. Was it the Group 3 car that they killed, or was it the Group 4 car? I can't remember. Anyway, they killed one of the two cars. But Vanity's right there, And I'm like, hey, if you want to take the inside line here, I don't care, whatever. And so he fakes these. I don't know why he went to the inside and didn't go for it. I know the Alpha's got really good brakes, so he should just send it. And I would have let him on by. But I let him by here, and hopefully all these guys remember this kindness that I gave them in a future race. Anyway, so I let Vanity by. I'm in 11th on lap 12. It's not terrible, honestly. From starting in P20, now I'm in position 11, and this is when I should really be thinking about my tire strategy. Lap 13, I should be in the pits right now. I should be in the pits. I mean, look at the mini map. There's a gap there between 19 and 20, whatever, or 17, 18, whatever it is. But it would bring me back out right on the back of this train of 15 through 10 or whatever it is, 9. I would be on the back side of it, but I would have fresh tires on lap 7. Maybe even the lap before I should have came in and been close. But instead, 11 and 12 passed me, shred the tires passed me, 359 passed me, and I stay on the outside and I go ahead and let McBoatman go by. As I'm on like the 5th laps of these soft tires, and they're starting to struggle a little bit, and I just can't keep the pace with these other guys. So I'm like, I don't want to ruin their race. I mean, look at this. They're having a great race. I mean, this is a line of cars that are there. I mean, I can't keep up with them. They're racing hard, and they're right on each other. I don't want to hold them up. They're having a good time. I'm not going to get in their damn way. I mean, I started P20 for crying out loud, and at best, I could probably finish maybe P13. So what's the point? So I let them by, and hindsight tells me I should have been in the pits trying to catch back up to these guys. So anyway, I didn't do that. So fast forward lap 20, because lap 14 through 20 was just me by myself, all alone, lonely. I did go into the pits, throw another set of softs, but so terrible pit strategy by the Geauxgreddy. I'm usually on point on my pit strategies, but this one not so good. So anyway, come across the line. Did pick up 4 positions to P16, so not the end of the world, but not my best effort by far. So let's move on to the next race and hope we did a little bit better than this manufacturer's race. Here we go, race 2 at Spa in the Group 1 cars. Love Spa, love Group 1 cars, so I said, why not? Let's jump into this. Lobby was really good. My DR, like I said, is a little bit inflated from doing those daily races, but I like this combo so much. I did pretty well in qualifying, qualified P10. I believe it was like a mid 137 that I ran. I would show you that qualifying, but I had a little issue in the race. There you see TPC Pooh Bear spins out in turn 1. Now that allows me to pick up a position, and if you look, DNA Judoka gets a 2-second penalty for, he probably got a little piece of him as Pooh Bear was spinning sideways, and the game decided to give him 2 seconds, which is going to be detrimental for Judoka, and it's going to allow us to pick up another position, which sucked for Judoka. But I will certainly take that spot and move up into TPC Pigham's slipstream. Pigham's usually a good bit quicker than I am around most courses, so I figure if I can just hang out here behind Piggins and let him pull me along, I may actually get a top 10 finish in this lobby, which I would be elated with at this point. So heading there through Bruxelles towards Pouillon. Pouillon, however you say it, is probably one of the corners I struggle with maintaining good speed through there, as well as the beginning section of Campus Stavelot. That area, sometimes I struggle in there. In other words, the corners, yeah. I struggle with the corners. Now you'll see, I was right there behind Pigham's, and as I come out of this section, I mean, I'm in a slipstream, right in a slipstream, and I'm preparing for the upcoming chicane. As you notice, as we come out of Stavelot, you'll notice me start to slide back a bit. As you can see, I'm even ghosted, and that gives Chris the chance to jump right behind me. Now what happened was I was going to change my brake balance, and I missed the brake balance pad, and I hit the share button on my T150, and so it went to share mode and auto drive. So I lost about, I don't know, I guess it was about a second and a half And that allowed Chris to get on my rear bumper, and it caused me to lose the slipstream of Pickham's. Now, in the Group 1 cars, it is tough to be in the slipstream, but it does help a little bit, especially on the straight. So that definitely was a little bit detrimental in this race. It definitely cost me some time, and it put Chris right on my rear bumper. It put a little pressure on me. As you can see, that Porsche that thing just accelerates so good as we head towards Eau Rouge side by side. I keep that inside line. We go through there clean. That is some clean racing, folks. Now, Chris had a penalty from earlier that wasn't from Eau Rouge, so he serves his penalty, and I scamper off in the distance. But you can see now Pigham's 2.5 seconds in front of me, so that was a very costly little share button there I had there. A little further now up in this lap, you will see Dibbler. I don't know if he hit a bollard or what exactly happened, but he almost comes to just a dead stop right there on the curbing. Those little green bollards can be weird, man. If you hit them wrong, they just stop your car. I don't know what's up with that. But and that caused Piggham's to get involved there. So we pick up 2 more positions in P5 due to the generosity of others. I didn't really overtake anyone, but keeping my head down, trying to keep my laps clean and see where I can land. But top 10 is looking like it's quite possible at this point in the race. So we'll move on now to lap 7. And I am on the soft tires, elected to start on the soft tires. As you can see there, I come out the exits with the brake balance on 2. I was doing that as I felt the tires start to wear. I would switch the brake balance more towards the front because the back end of this Audi would just get so squirrely when you were entering the chicane. You wanted it on brake balance 5 because it gave you the most regenerative battery. It would regenerate your battery more quickly on brake balance 5 to the rear. But as the tires wore, man, that Audi would just get so squirrely. It's a little chicken nugget. Pulls out of the pits in front of me. Like I said, I'm on the soft tires. I elected to go with 8 soft, 7 medium, 1 hard as my strategy. Now I know you can do, you can add an extra stop there and split the softs and go less on the mediums, but I wasn't that fast here where it was helping me that much, so I elected just to stay out and just try and stay clean on my laps and just kind of see where I ended up. So that was my strategy. And again, I'm in the Audi R18, the 2016, I believe, version, the one that is hybrid. And so that's why you see that brake balance 5 to the rear right there. Getting pretty even tire balance, and I was switching it towards the front a little bit in spots, or going to 4 to try and keep the back tires from wearing out too much. Because then the rear of the car would get really squirrely on me in the corners, and it made it a little hard to predict where I could apply the power coming out. So you can see I'm off my apex right there as we head through campus. Get back on my apex nicely. This corner always difficult because you got to really break it to where you're getting back on the power there. I'm actually late coming on the power. I should really just be pushing onto that apron as you're coming out of that corner. Now I knew it was time to get off those tires, especially then because I couldn't hold it to the floor through that section. Usually you can keep that flat through there. Unable to do so. So I knew for sure now was the time to get off these softs and onto the mediums. As you can see, Greasy Scanwich, I can never say his name. He is in the pits on the softs, and he looks like he might be putting on another set of softs. No, he goes to hards here. So he goes to hards. I go into the pits in P5. I'm going to take off these softs, throw on some mediums. No fuel necessary, not needed. Team Audi, or actually USA team, not Team Audi. USA team in the pits, getting me out of there. And I fall back 1 position. TPC Piggham's stayed out. He started on the medium tires, I do believe it was. And so he passes me while I'm in the pits. He stays out. Heading into lap 11. Now look at the Porsche behind me here, Chris's Porsche. Look at this thing gain in that mid-acceleration range. So we come out, we have about 5/10 of a lead. I'm getting on the gas. I'm starting to pull away. Now that Porsche's hybrid system, insane. Look at the acceleration. He cuts that down to almost 1/10 in that one section. But what I noticed is he would make that 4 or 5/10 run on me, but then that Porsche would just fall flat on its face. And you can see, even with him in my slip, I'm pulling away now. So I was trying to keep that in mind because he would follow me for quite a few laps here, and I was trying to keep that 6/7 lead on because that Porsche is so dangerous in that mid-range acceleration. So basically we hang out like this for a few laps. So let's forward here to lap number 15, and it is time for me to put on my hards. The last lap coming up, I am in P6. TPC Piggham's, look at that, has moved all the way up to, it looks like P3 there. You have Greasy Sandwich still leading the race. Lisa Stalter's in there in the top 3 as well. So we come in, look at all the different tire combos and race strategies that are in play here. Really cool. I really enjoy it when there's a lot of mixture of race strategies. You don't really know how it's going to end, and it's a lot more fun that way. So throw on the new set of rubber, and we head on out. And I come out here in P7. That's right. So Ida Delicious gets by me while I'm in the pit. So he was probably starting on the mediums as well, switched to the softs and ran me down in lap times. So good job by him. Come through Eau Rouge, heading up the Radillon into the Kimmel Straight. And look at that Porsche. He is right there. Now he is within a 10th now. And that is not good for me because we've got the corners coming up. Now this is the Porsche's strength. Is the corners and the acceleration mid-corners coming out. But I'm like, you know what, I'm just going to put it on the apex, stay on the inside line, and I should be okay because when we come to the final straight there before, through Blanchimont, through to the final chicane, I'll be able to pull on. He won't be able to pass me through that section. So I just got to stay in front of him through these corners and stay out in front as we head down towards, like I said, one of the more difficult corners for me is Pouillon, and he gets on the inside. I wasn't expecting to be able to accelerate like that, get next to me, so I didn't protect it. And he gets alongside me, so mistake by me allows him to get alongside me. I'm like, okay, I got the inside here, so I get on the brakes a little late, and he's still able to hold it around the outside in that Porsche. So great job there by Chris, and we keep it clean, extremely clean racing through there, side-by-side racing, and he actually pulls out in front. I get on the brakes a little late there. The back end gets squirrely on me. I'm not very good on these racing hard tires anyway, but hey, props to Chris. An outstanding set of corners for him. He makes it stick. He gets the position. He deserved it. Well done by him. TPC Pooh Bear now on my rear bumper. As you remember, Pooh Bear had that problem there in turn 1 at the very beginning of the race. So I've got to hold him off as we head in the chicane. I'd take a very defensive middle of the track line, trying to figure out which way he was thinking if he wanted to go. So anyway, we come out of the chicane, get on the gas, and I am able to hold on to 8th place. Outstanding race. Thoroughly enjoyed it. It was everything I hoped it would be. I had clean laps. I had competitive laps. We had some side-by-side racing through Eau Rouge and the other parts of the track without any issues. There we go. Hope you enjoyed the race. If you did, hit the like and or subscribe. Like I said, I would greatly appreciate that. And join us for a future video. Thank you all, and have a great evening. DJcLean, take us out of here.